Hello, this is Christy Walker along with Steve Simonson, and we'll be calling all the action in tonight's women's volleyball game between Kentucky State University and IPFW. Kentucky State so far in GLVC is 0-9, and their overall standings are 1-20. For IPFW, they're 5-2 in the conference, and they're 13-15 overall. So for tonight, IPFW shouldn't have too many problems. Obviously, the way the standings are right now, Kentucky State is a very, very young team, and they don't have a lot of players, so IPFW shouldn't have a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, I looked for it to be a quick one tonight. The girls are going to come out here. They had a win earlier in the week. I believe they won in 5, and they're going to come out here want to get this one out of the way and look forward to the match tomorrow, but we got to get through this one first.
That's right. I think tonight will be a positive night, though, for IPFW. If they can pull off a quick win here, it'll help them go into tomorrow's game. Looking at a few other statistics. Oh, it looks like we're about ready here for the starting lineup, so we'll fill you in with some other GLVC volleyball statistics as the evening goes on. We'll get the girls on the line here, and we'll have the starting lineups.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hilliard Gate Sports Center for tonight's event between Kentucky State and your IPFW Volleyball. Will you please rise for our national anthem?
Back after the national anthem there, we're going to go right down to the floor as we get ready to do tonight's starting lineups. Once again, this is IPFW versus Kentucky State.
Number 5, Melissa Robertson. Now for the starters for Kentucky State. Number 11, Janine Clark. Number 9, Jennifer Evans. Number 10, Contessa Gillis. Number 12, Kendra Lewis. Number 8, Deidre Logan. Number 3, Legetta McDowney. The head coach, Anthony Davis. And assistant coach, Shamara Smith. Now for the non-starters for IPFW. Number 3, Kathy Culp. Number 5, April Bear. Number 7, Carrie Herdman. Number 9, Tiffany Martin. Number 14, Andy Reichart. Number 15, Andrea Woodcock. Now the starters. Number 1, Amy Lubin. Number 2, Julie Parrott. Number 4, Amber Borney. Number 6, Andy Redenbach. Number 10, Dottie Porch. Number 12, Heather Teagarden. And for the head coach, Tim Heffron. Assistant coach, Susanna Smith. Assistant coach, Colin Leiter. And the other assistant coach, Joe Lyon.
And there's our starting lineups for this evening. So IPFW obviously wanting a win here tonight to head into tomorrow's game. And that will be against Bellarmine College. But first, like you said, Steve, earlier, they've got to get through tonight, even though it's an easy team. Sometimes those can pose the most trouble for you.
Oh, that's for sure. You have to really pick up your level of play when you're playing a team of a lesser caliber. I haven't seen this team play. I just watched them warm up a little bit. Being as small as they are, it's got to be tough practicing for them and whatnot, getting in some competitive situations. But it's easy to overlook these type of teams and sink down to a level of play that you're not used to playing, and it can cause problems. So we just need to come out here, fire up, keep our level of play high, and just go right through them real quick and get out of here.
That's right. Kentucky State's lineup, their height is not very tall, 5'11" being their tallest player, 5'10", and then it drops down to 5'8" and 5'6". IPFW, obviously, with Dottie Porch leading at 6 foot at least as far as starters. Andy Reichardt 6'3", so there's a lot of height difference out here on the floor, but you can't count out quickness and the ability to get to a ball. They may be short, may not see a lot of balls being slammed back at us, but they may get them back, and that's our task for this evening, is to get those balls down and get some points on the board. We're going to get a chance here right off the bat as we start to serve. And IPFW here with the chance right off the start, but that's not a real good move. IPFW will be side out for Kentucky. We got a call. Lubin was in the net. Well, right off the bat, that's what we were talking about. Point for Kentucky State, and they're up 1-0 on the board. So IPFW needs to just settle down, get into their game, and we'll see what happens. Number 9, Jennifer Evans with the serve net. Side out, IPFW.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get off to a good start. We see some other faces. They get everybody a little bit of experience in the match.
Parrott with the jump serve, called wide, side out Kentucky State. So IPFW not getting off to a very quick start so far this evening. A couple errors right away, and I'm sure they're going to want to settle right down here. Janine Clark with that serve, back set, Heather Teagarden, and that's down. Side out IPFW, so that's what we need to see. We need to see a little bit of that back set, quick kill. IPFW will get right into this ball game. Andy Reichardt coming in. She'll give Amy Lubin a chance to sit down. I'm sure, like you said, we're going to see a little bit of shake and bake, a little mixing up on the court, see who's out there, who's going to make that combination tonight. It's not always going to be the same, and that was a good serve. As they watched that one go by, thought it was going to be a little bit long, and that's a point for IPFW. Dottie Porch still back to serve. Chance here for another one. I doubt they'll let this one go by. But they will, because that one's going to be long, and it's going to be side out for Kentucky State.
Yeah, that's three mistakes within the first couple points for IPFW. I mean, a net call, 2 service errors. It's not a really good sign, but Heather looks like she's fired up tonight and trying to tell these girls, hey, come on, let's play.
That's right. Deidre Logan earns a point for Kentucky State. A little bit of communication on the front, but like you said, I'm sure Lubin's ready to call it. Nice dig in the back, outside to Amber Borney, and it's going to be called in, side out IPFW.
Nice high swing. I mean, if we get a good pass, it should be a field day for these hitters. They should be able to rack up some good hitting percentages, get some nice numbers up there for them, also build confidence.
Back set, and that's what we're talking about, where that height wasn't going to pay off for them, and it didn't if we wouldn't have touched it. But on a touch, they get a side out. And not a lot of jumping ability because of the height. Janine Clark, 5'11", at least that is their tallest player for Kentucky State. She earns them the side out. Back to serve would be number 5, Melissa Robertson. Trying to keep things going for Kentucky State. As long as they can stay in this, folks, they will be fired up. Amber Borney with a nice hit. They go outside. Good dig by Parrott. Teagarden takes it over by herself, and it's touched off of Melissa Robertson's hand, side out IPFW. Another person coming in, Kathy Culp's going to see a little bit of action. Amber Borney will take a seat.
Kathy's coming in to play a little bit of defense for the girls, see if she can get a couple tough serves over there, score a couple points on defense.
Kathy with a good serve. They go outside. Nice hit by Kentucky State. Quick set to Andy Reichardt, but it was a good dig. Chance for IPFW to get a point right here. Set outside to Parrott, and it's going to be playable. Free ball if they can get it over.
It hit the...
They're going to let it go. Andy Reichart says not this time, and point, IPFW.
There's a missed call there. Forrest Gump wasn't looking very well. And he should look up there and see the beams, and if the ball hits the beams, it's a dead ball.
That's right.
And our down line official didn't call it. I mean, the refs are watching the floor, and you can't.
And we had Kentucky State into the net. I believe they were going to call number 10, Contessa Gillis. And IPFW gets another point. 3-2 IPFW. Kathy Culp still with the serve. Outside to Gillis. IPFW digs it. Parrott with their own. And
the IPFW girls are really going to have to stay deep on defense, because these girls from Kentucky State aren't going to hit the ball straight down because there's the height factor. They're not going to be able to rip the ball straight down. They're going to hit a lot of balls to the deeper part of the court, and they got to stay deep and dig that ball.
That's right. We've even seen some problems when they were going to hit them short of having the back row being ready to go, and they're definitely going to have to be ready to go tonight. So Andy Reichardt's going to be back to serve for IPFW. 3-2 lead here early in game number 1, and that's going to be a service ace. Second ball watched to go by. That was watched by Lajetta McDowney, and that's a freshman error. Kentucky State has a fairly young team, but that one's long. So side out once again.
Well, so far in the first 6 points of the game, we got 2 aces and 3 service errors, so not all that bad.
Julie Parrott with the quick tip. And we had 4 hits, side out IPFW. Going back to serve is Amy Lubin, and threw us off a little bit earlier. Amy's wearing a number 11 jersey tonight. Usually she wears number 1. So if you're used to Amy Lubin having number 1, she's wearing 11 tonight. Lubin with the set to Dottie Porch, and she knocks it down, point IPFW. Not a very powerful swing, but with no height there to block it, she's going to get real lucky tonight and get a few of those to drop.
Not only that, there she saw the hands, so she just used the block. It's it's a smart play when there's a block up, even if it is a small block.
Teagarden with the block. Free ball IPFW. Lubin quick set to Porch, and right down between 2 in the back. So IPFW with another point, 6-2 here in game 1. Now IPFW is getting into the swing of things and putting a few consecutive points up on the board. It's going to be a free ball here. Lubin's going to back set to Teagarden, cross court, and it's wide. Side out.
That ball floated a little bit far, past the antenna, and Heather couldn't get to it. So she had to try to get a nice little angle shot there. She just couldn't snap it down and get it in play, but it was a nice effort by her.
Jennifer Evans back to serve. And that service wide, side out IPFW. Coming into the game is going to be Amber Borney once again for Kathy Kopp. That's a little bit more height there on the front line. Kathy usually coming in to serve. Julie Parrott back to serve for IPFW. And it was a tough dig, but it was wide, point IPFW. 7-2. The Lady Dons in the lead. Parrott once again with the serve. Chance for a point right here. Set up to Lubin. She goes across to Amber Borney. And a nice hit by Amber.
Yeah, she had some heat on that swing. I really would like to see a better free ball pass. That ball came over, had all day to get underneath it. Amy Reidenbach had all day to pass it up to the setter, and we could have run the middle or something. But she sort of shanked the free ball, and we had to go outside. But Amber really stuck it, so we got the point.
And then another service error, so side out for Kentucky. Amber Borney, nice dig by Janine Clark. We'll see what happens here. Another set, Dottie Porch, and this time it's in.
See, that could be the big problem, the fact that it's unorthodox. You know, you don't see the ball coming over the way it's been coming over, and the ball Kentucky State hit the ball, hit the net, rolled over. Heather's backing up, and you're going to see a lot of awkward plays, and that can be it's hard to adjust to instead of the bump, set, spike, the actual fluent type of play. And it's hard sometimes when the ball comes back at you in a way you're not supposed to.
Right, point IPFW. Dottie Porch will be serving again. A couple nice blocks there on the front by Amber Borney and Heather Teagarden. Dottie with a good serve. And a great block by Amber Borney as she got her hands on Andy Reichart right up there with her. 10-2, IPFW leads here in game number 1. Dottie Porch will serve once again and hopefully continue some good serves. Lubin sets it outside to Borney, down.
She's heating up.
And we're going to see a timeout right there on that one as IPFW leads us 11-2. Really, Steve, not bad efforts now. We had a really slow start, but consecutively ever since it's been 3-2, we've continued to put points on the board. It's now 11-2, and I think she just wants to talk to them a little bit and try to settle them down. Like I said, they really have a mixed team between the youth on their team. They have 2 starting freshmen and a sophomore and a junior. You know, that's got to be tough, and also with the height factor, it would be a tough job to coach this team this year. I'm sure it's just a building year for them. And IPFW having also a building year. They've had their problems, and they're still trying to find, I'm sure, that real team that's going to click out there on the floor, and then those who can substitute for them. And we see a lot of substitution always going on, and it's just to find out who's going to be able to really play what position.
Yeah, with only 2 seniors in IPFW's team, they have a bright future ahead of them. They got some good athletes on this team, and they're losing April next year, which will be a big loss, both with their playing ability and her leadership ability, and they're also losing Kathy Culp. So I mean, and the girls out there right now, every girl you see on the court right now is coming back for IPFW next year.
That's
so
right.
They're going to be pretty decent, and it's just they can just get through, get better as this year goes on, work hard, and who knows what these guys can do in the future.
That's right. You just got to take your wins as you get them. They're going to see some losses this year, but they're standing in the middle of GLVC as it stands with the team that they have, and so there's nothing but better things for them. Dottie Porch with the dig, and the set to Andy Reichart, and that's going to be eaten by Janine Clark.
And not to mention the fact that only 2 girls who are on the court for IPFW right now were on the team last year. I mean, on the court. There's other girls that are on the team sitting on the bench right now, but there's 4 girls out there that are all new to this program, and they're all out there working hard for the team, and they're going to get a lot better.
That's right. Dottie Porch, it's her first year. She's better known right here, right now as a basketball player for IPFW, but I think after this season, you could say either sport, and she's playing very well for the team, and so is everyone else for that fact that has just come out and started. It's rough to get going on a new team, and once again, Janine Clark eats another one. And IPFW has a side out. Substitution coming in. Kathy Culp once again is going to come back in to serve. Amber Borney is going to have a seat. 12-2, IPFW leads here. Quick tip. Andy Reichart, nobody there to defend it. Straight down. It seems like their team is already tired, and that's not fair to say this early, but I'm sure there's just going to be a lot of confusion. IPFW able to set it to more than one person who's going to bring it down, and that's got to be something hard to work with right now. There's Julie Parrott, and right back into the net.
Yeah, you can set Julie all day out there, and she's just going to hit the ball over number 3 all night long.
14-2, Kentucky State wants to call a timeout here. They want to see if they can shake up Kathy Culp, not allow this first game to be over so fast. But IPFW playing well now, and I think we're going to see just that continue as the other 2 games come along.
Well, the key is when the balls, those free balls are coming over, they're capitalizing on them, I guess you can say. There's a couple plays I'd like to see them transition a little better, but for the most part, they're not making mistakes when the Kentucky State's giving them the ball back. So.
The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW sports telecast, To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805, or call us at 481-6000. So if you want to know what's going on, just give us a call for a free guide. Quick set once again. I think Kentucky's going to have to do that since they can't really set up for a spike as well. And this is going to be outside wide point IPFW, and game 15-2 for game number 1. And we're going to switch sides here, and it'll be a real short break, and we'll have game number 2. We'll be right back for more GLVC volleyball action right after this brief message. Start for game number 2. IPFW just coming out of their little break. There we go. We'll see them as they come out on the floor, and we'll get all set up here for game 2. IPFW, if you're just joining us, wins game number 1, 15-2. Started out really slow, but they finally got going and a little bit in sync, and pretty much wrapped up the game. It was tied 3-2, and after that, that was it. A couple sides out for Kentucky State. And then
here come the troops. The new troops are coming in.
That's right. Andrea Woodcock is now out on the floor for IPFW.
Tiffany's out there.
Tiffany, Amy Lubin, and we're also going to see Amy Reidenbach, April Bayer, and Dottie Porch. So
Mr. Gebert's out there checking the lineups, making sure everything's in order. And
there was a first point for Kentucky State. We missed it. A little bit of missed action there by Amy Reidenbach, and Kentucky State starts out game number 2, 1-0, as they did game number 1, and they're going to be 2-0 as this is off the arms of Tiffany Martin. So 2-0 Kentucky State, and I guess they decided after game number 1 they were going to come out and get fired up here, and so with the new lineup for IPFW, they have to get back into sync again. Dottie Porch, it was a little bit of a low set for her, but she got it over. Andrea Woodcock, it's going to come backside. Bear got dug very well, and is it going to get over? It will. Martin gets it over. Free ball for Kentucky State. And somehow that dribbled over the net. Once again, Kentucky State with a chance, but Dottie Porch in the matchup on the line with Jennifer Evans, 5-5 against 6 foot, and the matchup for IPFW was a little bit stronger, and so they get side out and see if they can get some points on the board. April having a few words there to get the team ready to go. And that's wide point, IPFW.
April's still shocked that she got dug on that one last play. She hit that ball hard as I've seen her hit it all year, and Miss Gills back there lipped her.
Point IPFW, so it's all tied up here now, 2-0. We'll see if IPFW has as much spark back on the serving line as Kentucky State did to start out game number 2. And as soon as we say that,
we didn't say it.
I said it. Okay, Steve. No problem. As soon as I said it, we had a service error. I think I do that to April every time she's up to serve. Nice tough serve by Kentucky State. Outside to Martin. And a nice dig in the back row. Tessa Gillis. And a quick tip, and that's good for Janine Clark.
Tessa's back there digging a lot of balls.
That's right. I think you want to keep it away from her. She said everything you hit at her right now is getting back. So back to serve Legetta McDowney. I'm sorry, Jennifer Evans for Kentucky State. And a little bit short for Woodcock, and it's a point for Kentucky. 4-2.
Hey, there's a nice shot of Lauren Gebert.
There we go. Evans once again. Former IPFW player. You see him officiating, I think, almost every female or the women's game that I've been to. He's been on the net.
Yep, and Dan the man's up top tonight. Dan's a great ref.
Another point, Kentucky State. They're up 5-2 here. IPFW needs to try to get a side out, and they're going to get it with that error by Janine Clark. Janine is really their only power swinger. That's most of the sets have been going to her as far as jumping ability and the height over the net.
And here comes Care Bear back to serve.
Carrie Herman with a good serve, and there went for a quick tip, and they're going to get a lift out of it.
Oh, Dan. Just when I say you're a great ref, I jinxed you too. No, I'm just kidding.
Janine Clark gets that point, and now she's back to serve. Set quick inside. And we're going to get an in the net call. Side out IPFW. Actually, I thought both sides were into the net on that one, but they caught Kentucky, and so side out IPFW, and Andrea Woodcock will be back to serve.
Yep, fish on. Fish in the net.
And that's long. Side out Kentucky State.
I think she just tried to jump serve. If I'm not mistaken. She says, hey, I don't get to play that much. I'm going to get in this game. I'm going to jump it up. Make something happen.
Side outside to Martin. Nice dig in the back row, and a quick tip over by Martin. And that's going to count as a kill for Tiffany Martin, and she will serve once again. Tiffany from Grable, Indiana. And a nice quick tip over by Amy Lubin. And that's going to be a point for IPFW, 5-3 as they try to climb back into this game. Not down too far, but Kentucky State started off really good. A lot of inspiration in their faces right now. You can tell the difference between game number 1 and game number 2. They're leading this one. Obviously, they're already past the number of points they earned in game number 1, and they just earned another side out. So IPFW definitely going to have to get the ball back, not let them get any points on the board, because I don't think that this is a team that's just going to walk away and let this go in 3 easy games. Oh, and there's a kill by April Bear.
Over the top of the block.
That's right. Saw nice wide open in the back line, and nothing but wood for her. Side out, IPFW. Carrie Herdman coming out of the ball game. Dottie Porch coming in for that front line. And Amy Reidenbach will serve for IPFW. Go outside, and that every I think, hit that they've made has either gone off a block. Nice move by Dottie. It was past her right arm, so she swung with her left and still got it over. And a beautiful dig in the back by Clark. And in the net for the Thoroughbreds. And I was looking to see who they call. I believe they called number 10, Contessa Gillis. So it's a point IPFW, 5-4. Reinbach with another good serve. Oh, and through the block. Through Lubin and Dottie Porch.
Lubin's really improved her blocking. I saw her last weekend in the tournament here, and she didn't get a lot of stuff blocks, but she sure did get her hands on a lot of balls. Just nice touches where the defense could either play them or she put the ball back in. There's some nice high blocks over on the other side of the net. I mean, she's doing a really good job with what she's got. And, that's a good sign. If she can start blocking balls at her height, that's going to be a really good sign for IPFW in the future.
IPFW still serving. Dottie takes it, and it's wide. Side out for Kentucky State. And it's still 5-4. Kentucky State leading here. Contessa Gillis back to serve. Lubin tried to go for the quick tip, and did they call the lift on that, Steve? I missed.
She's a back row player right now, and she went to the front row in front of the 10-foot line and jumped. Her hand was above the net, and she put the ball over the net, and she can't do that from the back row.
I'm glad you were awake on that one because I wasn't, and a quick tip once again by Janine Clark, and that's another point for Kentucky State. 7-4 as they get a couple quick points back up on the board. But you got to remember this is almost a totally different lineup here on the floor. And that was back set there to April Baer, but April was basically into the net when she got it and had nowhere to go with it. She tried to get it up but couldn't. 8-4 Kentucky State. Outside to Andrea Woodcock, and she finds a nice hole on the floor. Melissa Robertson tried to get underneath it.
See if April can fire him up a little bit here. She's the senior captain on the floor right now. She hasn't been playing much lately. I'm sure it's frustrating for her. Now she's in a game. Sure, it's not against one of the top teams she'd like to be playing against, but this is her chance to say, hey, coach, I should be playing, and she has to prove it here, otherwise she's not going to get a chance to play. So she should really be fired up more than any of them. This is halfway through her senior year, and she should be thriving on this against this lesser caliber team than IPFW is. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Kentucky State or anything, but IPFW is a top-notch program, and April's a senior, and she should really be trying to shine right here to get back in the starting lineup.
Kentucky State looking for a point, but it's going to be a free ball for IPFW and a chance here for a side out. See what they do with it. Lubin outside to Martin, and nice dig in the back row, and Andrea Woodcock takes it. I believe that would have been wide on the side for IPFW, but she thought she could get it back over, and it was wide of the antenna and a point. So it's now 9-5, and really IPFW needs to get it back, and that's in. Point Kentucky State.
Forrest Gump just took one for the team. She served that ball so good. Forrest couldn't even get out of the way of it, and it got him.
Jennifer Evans still serving the jump serve. Another tough serve. April Baer with the dig. Lubin this time outside to Martin, and she just gets it back over for the Thoroughbreds. Another chance for a point. And that's going to count as a kill for number 8, Deidre Logan. 5'10" senior there for Kentucky State, and it's 11-5 here. And there's a nice shot of Tim Heffron on the bench as he watches on.
Is that possible? A nice shot of Tim?
Sure. And a quick tip, IPFW needing a sign out outside to Martin, and she's blocked, but we've got a point. And a timeout for IPFW as they find themselves trailing by 7 here in game number 2, 12-5, after winning game number 1, 15-2.
Who would have thought? Well, we'll be right back with more GLVC volleyball action right after these brief messages.
And we're back. IPFW trailing by 7 here in game number 2, having a little bit of difficulty with their second game lineup. They've had a few problems, and we'll see if they can get those worked out as they gain a point here or there, but have allowed basically Kentucky State to put a quick 5 up on the board. And they are now leading 12-5, but IPFW with the side out, and Herdman with the serving error. So side out Kentucky State. Back to serve is number 11, a freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, Janine Clark. Clark with a good serve. The set to Andrea Woodcock, and a nice dig for Kentucky State. And that's wide. Side out IPFW. And a good dig. I think this is going to be unplayable, as she really didn't want to eat the bleachers. And I can't blame her on that. Deidre Logan decided to let that one go. Point IPFW. So now it's 6-12. Andrea Woodcock with another serve. And Amy Reidenbach wanted to make sure they weren't going to put that back over. She saw it was going to fall a little short, but just tapped it down. 7 is the score for IPFW. So they get a quick 2. Let's see if they can make it 3 here. And we're going to get a chance right here with the free ball. It's going to be set up Lubin. Quick set in the middle to Reidenbach. See what they do here outside to Martin, and she gets it off the block, but Thoroughbreds are going to get it back over. Lots of short tips for them, obviously with their height, that's the reason, but another point, IPFW.
We're getting right back in it. Andrea's serving the ball really well, and look, Kentucky State's going to get a timeout right here and say, hey, we had a chance to win this game, and we can't let them back in it, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They had a chance to come out here and say, hey, you better don't underestimate us. And they call timeout. They don't want IPFW to get back into it. And we're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back with more GLVC action after this.
And Andrea Woodcock with the serve for IPFW after that brief timeout there for Kentucky State, trying to stop IPFW as they're on a roll. Martin with a nice hit, and that's going to be wide. Point IPFW. So Woodcock with a little bit of a positive serving taking place right now for IPFW as they only trail by 3, and that's a service ace. So right now there's a little bit of frustration for the Lady Thoroughbreds. They are struggling out on the floor, and they definitely don't want to let IPFW back in this. I have a feeling if they can tie it up, there will be no question as to who will win it. And we'll see what happens, and that's going to be into the net. Another point, IPFW.
Andrew's serving the ball very well right now. That's what's gotten IPFW back in. She's serving the ball tough. Kentucky State cannot do anything with it right now if they can't get a good pass off of it. As long as she keeps serving tough. Okay, I didn't jinx her, did I?
Nope. Well, that was another good serve. No jinx, so that's wide. Point IPFW, 11-12, and so, no, I'm sorry, that tied it up there, 12 apiece. So Andrea here, if she can serve away, will serve away game number 2 for IPFW, and a disappointing loss as far as Kentucky State is concerned, as far as leading 12-5 at 1 point. And there's another good hit for IPFW, kill Amy Reidenbach. And Kentucky State wants a timeout because now that's a lead for IPFW, coming back from a 7-point deficit to lead by 1 here in game number 2. And we can go over a couple GLVC volleyball statistics in just a moment after we at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cablecast of NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contribution to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805. Please make your check out to Indiana Purdue Foundation at Fort Wayne and designate it for the College Cable Access Athletics. And believe me, folks, this is what allows you to watch these from home, although we would hope that you would be excited enough to come out here and watch these great teams inside the gymnasium.
While we were away, we missed a service error by Andrea, and then Kentucky State just got a point here on a hitting error. It's all tied up 13-13.
And that was wide, so IPFW the side out. We'll see if Tiffany Martin can wrap this one up here with 2 more points left to go for IPFW. Obviously don't want to let Kentucky State gain any more, and there's a service ace.
Service ace, Tiffany Martin.
So 1 more for the road and 1 more to wrap it up for game number 2. Obviously a lot tougher game, but like we talked about earlier, Steve and I said it's a different lineup on the floor for the most part. And that's a way to end it if you're going to, positively on 2 service aces by Tiffany Martin. In game number 2, IPFW gets 15-13. And we're going to switch into the floor one more time. We'll be right back in just a few moments. That one was the last shot there. I think we saw 1 into the pool, if I'm right on my counting, and not a bad chance there for a couple free tickets. IPFW not standing too bad in the Great Lakes Valley Conference volleyball statistics. In each area, IPFW does have 1 player in the top 10 in hitting percentage. Andy Reichardt is in at number 7, and her percentage with a 3.308. In kills per game, Amber Borney is tied for 8th place. Games played, she's played 67, and she has 190 kills for a kill per game average of 2.84. Assists per game, Amy Lubin brings in a 7 at 8.22 assists average per game. Service aces per game, Julie Parrott's in 7th at 500. And blocks per game, number 6, Dottie Porch, and that's not surprising. And she's averaging 1.22 blocks per game, leader being 2.52. So just to give you an idea, that's not a low percentage. Digs per game, Julie Parrott in at number 5, and she averages 3.26, and that's figured on the number of games played. And Julie, for that one, has played 90 games with 293 digs. So good statistics for IPFW, having someone in the top 10 in each area. And so that shows a lot for the youth of this team and their abilities and what they will do coming up here in the future. There's some of our fans who we'd like to see more of you out here sitting in the stands.
Speaking of fans, I got to talk to Loy a little bit, Loy Ball, last night after the match against Japan, and he'd like to thank all the people from Fort Wayne who made the trip up there. He really appreciated all the support you guys gave him, and he wanted me to relay that message to everybody. He really appreciated it, and thanks for coming out.
And I think we've seen a lot of that support for many of the IPFW players. I know it was fun working with Loy. I did some play-by-play in color with Loy Ball, and we definitely wish him the best as he pursues his talents in other areas. We hope you will tune into Channel 6 tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 to watch the Lady Knights from Bellarmine College take on the IPFW Lady Volleydons. Catch all of the action of IPFW volleyball right here on Channel 6. And you've got to see 2 games so far this evening that haven't been too bad this evening. IPFW having a little difficulty in game 1, but they wrap it up 15-2. Kentucky State coming out pretty strong in lead of 12-5 there. Andrea Woodcock able to bring the Lady Dons back to a 13-12 lead, and then Tiffany Martin with 2 service aces to win game number 2, 15-13. And a little bit, a few warm-ups there to get ready to go for game number 3. There's a little bit longer of a break and a chance for the teams to straighten themselves out if they have difficulties, and make sure that they get what they need to aligned and ready to go.
It's a good shot of Colin, one of the assistant coaches, telling Tiffany, helping her out, giving her a little instruction. This is a great time to do that. I mean, she's only a freshman. She got to play a game. You sit her down right afterwards, give her that feedback right away. Let her know, hey, this is how you got to do certain things, step around. You know, this is the moves you should be making. And this is a great learning experience for some of these younger girls to get in here and get some playing time. And I said it before, it's a great chance against a team like Kentucky State with only 7 players. You know they're going to get a little tired. To go out there and get yourself some confidence. Go out there, get swings in, bang away, hit over the block, and just build your confidence up. And it's a great opportunity. And it'd be great if they could take advantage of it throughout into this 3rd game.
That's right. It's also a great opportunity for these players to learn to play like we were talking about earlier. It's not really a bump set and a spike. These guys are throwing a little bit different type of play because of their height. A lot of quick tips back over, and definitely a lot of hits a little bit deeper than normal because of their height. And IPFW, this is a good chance for them to see what it's like to play a little bit of a variable game. And because I can tell you tomorrow against Bellarmine, it's probably going to be totally a whole different situation, and they need to be totally prepared. So the teams are finishing their final little bits of information and their positive image things, what they need to work on, what they want to do, a little bit of senior leadership out there. This is what we need to do to win game number 3, and Kentucky State is all lined up. IPFW is making sure they have it together, and we're going to see a little bit of a mix-up once again between the first starting lineup and the 2nd game, but we see Dottie Porch in there, as well as Tiffany Martin, Andrea Woodcock, Amy Reidenbach, and April Baer. So Amy Lubin is back to serve for IPFW. And we got to make sure the lineups are right on the floor. Shouldn't say we, Lauren. That's his job.
And he does a fine one at that.
And a fine job, that's right. And we're ready to go here. Game number 3. Amy Lubin with a service ace. That's a good way for IPFW to start here in game number 3, as they trailed both the first 2 games. They were not the first to put the point on the board, so maybe this is a good sign for game number 3. And I jinxed her a little bit long. Side out, Lady Thoroughbreds from Kentucky State.
Oh, the fans are all over Forrest over there. What's going on? That ball was in.
Tiffany Martin with a good dig and a lift call for Lubin. The pass was a little bit low. Lubin tried to get under it, lifted it up though as she tried to set Andrea Woodcock. And that's going to be in. That was right on the line. I think that's the call they wanted from the other end. And that's a point for Kentucky State as they lead here 2-1. in game number 3. Jennifer Evans with a tough jump serve. Nice dig by Martin, and the pass up, and Andrea's going to get it over and in. So side out IPFW. So once again, the Kentucky State watching the ball, and this time it was good on the line. And so back to serve for IPFW is April Baer. See if April can get something shaking for IPFW. And that's a kill for number 8, Deidre Logan. Side out Kentucky State, still 2-1. Here's a good shot of Deidre. She's a senior, one of the 2 seniors for Kentucky State. Serve, back set to Andrea, and she's gonna be under the net, and so it's a point for Kentucky State, 3-1.
Yeah, it sure does seem that IPFW is a slow starting team. I used to think it was just match to match that they're slow starting, but it seems as of late they start each game slower and slower and slower, and they get themselves down and find themselves having to fight their way back into every game, not just every match, but every game now. That's not really a good sign. You should just come out and it's easier to play when you're ahead than it is from behind for most teams.
And with a team like Kentucky State, you have a chance to battle back into it, and maybe that's where they found some problems earlier with some other teams. They get behind and they too far behind and they can't come back because those teams aren't going to back off. Kentucky State, obviously not a powerhouse team. They might allow you to battle back in. And Andrew Woodcock there got a nice little tip over for the last point for IPFW. And Amy Reidenbach slammed it down, and they got it back over though, and back to Amy again, and this time it goes down. Point IPFW, it's tied up here 3-all in game number 3. Amy on the front line. Carrie Herdman with the serve. Almost unplayable, but they did get it back, and quick inside to Amy Reidenbach. Point IPFW. And she's swinging, so they're going to set her right now.
That's right. Lubin will keep going to her. She thinks she's got some good timing working with her.
And that's going to be wide. IPFW with another point, and they are up now 5-3, game 3. So Carrie Herdman coming in and doing a fine job serving for IPFW. Notice I paused in the middle of that, Steve, waiting till the serve came down inside to finish that up. And Amy Reidenbach once again, point for the Lady Dons. So now IPFW is getting a little bit in sync here, and at least it wasn't as slow of a start for as long. Here in game number 3, we'll see if they can keep it up. It's definitely a free ball, and not with 2 players playing it though, so that's another quick point for IPFW and a timeout for Kentucky State. Definitely she doesn't like what she sees right now, and especially with IPFW rolling and in sync with the 7-3 lead here in game number 3. She wants to save what she can. You too can join in the excitement of IPFW athletics by participating in the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Club is the official booster club for IPFW's athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating at all IPFW sporting events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, admission to IPFW sports media luncheons, and association with other Mastodon supporters, just to name a few benefits. For information on becoming a member of the Royal Dons Club, call Lisa Moreland at 481-6027 or write Royal Dons Club, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. So once again, if you want to be a member of that, just give us a call, Lisa Moreland at 481-6027, and help support IPFW athletics. See if that shook up Carrie Herdman, and not too much with another nice serve. Free ball IPFW, and Lubin's going to set it outside to Martin, and she finds the line this time on the back row. Point, Lady Dons. IPFW putting a quick 5 points on the board. And that's set to the back row. I'm not sure if they knew where that was going. So point IPFW.
I smell an ace right here by Carrie Herdman. I'm not even going to jinx her. She's going to get an ace right here.
Awfully close, Steve, awfully close. Oh, and if Carrie wouldn't have stuck her arm out on that one, I think she thought it was going to be wide, then thought it was going to be in, and stuck her arm out, would have been wide, a little bit long.
I think she might have thought someone touched that ball, but that ball was hit so high it almost bounced, it almost flew up onto the track.
And that's wide, so it's a point Kentucky State. So that was just a little tough error. She was serving really well. Just stuck her arm out, got a hold of it. 9-4. Kentucky State wanting to battle back in, but with a wide serve. IPFW with the side out, and Andrea Woodcock is back to serve, and obviously she did well here in game number 2. That's in. There's your ace. One person off. That's all. There's no causing IPFW any problems anymore as we talk about their serve. Andrea is going to get another good serve right there. And Lubin sets it outside of Martin and cross court kill.
Boom shakalaka.
And I think Kentucky State is going to have to watch a few more of those go by as IPFW leads 11-4. Timing is on a little bit better right now for Lubin in the front row. And substitution coming back in for Kentucky State, so we'll see what Andrea can do. Nice serve. Contessa Gillis just gets it back over for Kentucky State. Tiffany Martin, oh, the quick tip, and into the net for Kentucky State. That's what I thought. I heard the floor announcer. It's a point IPFW. 12-4.
The floor announcer has no clue.
Not on that one anyway. And they go for the quick tip wide of the antenna. Point IPFW. So once again, Woodcock on a roll. 13-4. IPFW leads. And that one's unplayable. Nice effort there by Tiffany Martin and Carrie Herdman. Side out for Kentucky State. IPFW looking for a side out. Carrie Herdman from the back row. And is it going to get back over? Yes, it is. Free ball, IPFW. We'll see what they can do. Lubin with the set. Over to Martin. Has to chase it down. And it's wide. Point.
Herdman wanting another white ball. She says, set me, I want to swing a little bit here.
So Kentucky State does get another point on the board, 13-5. IPFW looking for their side out, but that's going to be a service ace. Carrie Herdman unable to play it. Still thinking about swinging it, not, not digging it.
Side out right here, get a couple points. Uh-oh, Lauren. Picky, picky, picky.
Oh, and the fans are booing.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
So it's point for
For all you people out there who don't know what happened on that last play that Lauren called, Amy Lubin was left front, April Bear was middle front, and what she did is before the ball was attacked by Kentucky State, she crossed past April, and you have to wait until after the ball's attacked before you cross, otherwise they call you out of rotation. So for all you people out there who didn't know anything about that, that's what I'm here for, so here, that was it for you.
All right, thank you, Steve Simonson, for that play-by-play on what went wrong. And we're glad to hear it, though, because some of us, I'm sure, out there were lost in the viewing audience. Tune in to Channel 6 tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 to watch the Lady Knights from Bellarmine College take on the IPFW Lady Volleyball. Catch all of the action of IPFW volleyball right here on Channel 6. Tiffany Martin back to serve for game number 3, 14-7 IPFW. And it made it to the floor, though. Side out, Kentucky State. They just don't want to give this one up. We'll see what happens as number 3, Legetta McDowney, a 5'5" freshman, serves for the Lady Thoroughbreds. Herdman's going to send it back over, and a free ball. Quick tip, and we had an in the net. IPFW side out and a chance to win. We've got a substitution coming in, number 12, Kendra Lewis, replacing Janine Clark for Kentucky State. And back to serve, and a chance for game number 1 is Amy Reidenbach. Game number 3, boy, I don't think I want to go back to game number 1. We're in 3. Folks, 15-2, 15-13, and I hope I can say 15-7, and I can. And Carrie Herdman with the swing as she wanted it.
Oh, she's smiling. She's so happy. Isn't that cute?
So IPFW wins this in 3.
Nice win.
15-13, 15-7. And we'll be right back with the final statistics right after this.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gate Center. This is Steve Simonson. I'd like to remind you once again that we at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cablecast of NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we're able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contributions to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805. Please make your check out to Indiana Purdue Foundation at Fort Wayne and designate it for College Cable Access Athletics. Now let's send it down to the floor with Christy and our Dandy Don player of the game, Andrea Woodcock, 94.
And thanks, Steve. Joining me down the floor is our Dandy Don for tonight, Andrea Woodcock. And Andrea, what was Tim looking forward for you guys to do out here in game number 1?
Basically, he was looking for us to serve and pass. That's the key elements for our game to run our offense. So as long as we got our serves over, pass the free balls, we would be all right.
Okay, IPFW got out to a little bit of a slow start there in game number 1, but they came back to win in game number 1, 15-2. Now in game number 2, you came in there with some really nice serving. IPFW was trailing 12-5, and you had 8 consecutive serves. Is that something you've been working on?
This is the first game I played all season. Yeah, in practice, in spring season, I was working in jump serves and just to get the power going, and I was kind of intense, but it worked out all right. Except for 2 errors, I was pretty happy.
That's not too bad. I'm sure you're going to see a little bit more time. That's something I know I haven't watched or witnessed a lot of that kind of serving, so hopefully that'll get you a little bit more playing time. And in game number 3, then you turned around and you guys won that one 15-7. But now tomorrow you face Bellarmine. What are you looking forward to doing?
The same thing. On all our teams we play, we need to serve and pass. That's our first objective. We don't serve and pass, then we don't get our offense going. That's the first thing we have to do.
Okay, well hopefully IPFW can get that accomplished, and we're going to send it back up to the top to Steve, and IPFW wins this one in 3. This is Christy Walker from the floor.
All right, thanks Christy. Great match today, Andrea. And I'd like to remind you the telecast of this IPFW sporting event is copyrighted and sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. And don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 to see more GLVC action as the Lady Knights from Bellarmine College take on the Lady Dons of IPFW. For Christy, this is Steve Simonson. Goodbye for now.